Roll call.
I'm trying to see it. 18 supervisors are present. Supervisors Grady, Gentz, Belsky, O'Day, and Decker are excused.
Okay, we're going to recognize the 2021-2022 Youth and Governance members. Erica?
Incredible work of the 2021-2022 representatives. About a year ago, I kind of teared up during the orientation, so I'll not do that to you now. But I stood before the board to introduce the new cohort. That was the first thing I did in this role with Extension. And I already knew that these were incredible youth, of course, but I've just been blown away by their dedication to our county, to their roles on their committees, to learning everything they can about the great work that our county and all of its departments do, and the dedication to bringing youth voice and making sure that they were heard and they listened and learned, but also taught all of us, about the youth perspective and all the knowledge that comes with it. Over the last year, these youth have been shown to be professional, kind, intelligent, innovative, and really just fantastically dedicated above all else. So to witness their participation in these committees and watch their interest in and passion grow for these issue areas and for our community has been very inspiring and moving to me. So we're so fortunate. Thank you again to the board for being a supporter of this program and all the work that you do to include youth voice on top of all of the other responsibilities that you have as county supervisors. And thank you to the youth for these youth are very, very, very involved, and there's a lot of things they could be doing with their time, but they realize how important county government is to our community and have stepped up to the plate. So without further ado, I will be going ahead and introducing each of our 2021 and 2022 cohort. They will come up. I am going to invite Chairman Nudo and Supervisor Caro, our chairman of the PDEC committee, which governs the program, up to award our 2021-2022 Youth and Governance students with their certificates of merit and thanks for all of their work. I will be introducing them by committee and then by alphabetical order, and I will also be mentioning their former supervisor or their former mentors. So if some of our mentors are not on the board anymore, but if you are here and hear your name, please stand, and then please do the same for our current youth and governance when we move to that portion of the meeting. Okay, so for our current, about to be former youth and governance representatives, please come and grab your certificates, and then go ahead and take a stand, let's say, right here, and then we'll hear some words from some of you about your experience. So first, from the Finance and Administration Committee, with Supervisor Monica Uhas as their mentor, I'm inviting John Cargyle up here to receive their certificates of merit. All right. Next, I am inviting Shushaprija Kandrakota from the Joint Services Board. Her mentor is Jenny Tunkes, former Chief of Staff of the former County Executive. Next, also from Joint Services, we have Trinity Williams. Oops, I handed her the wrong one. Can you give her this one?
Huh?
My fault.
Which one?
Shushaprija. My bad. Anyway, Trinity Williams. Next, we have the Judiciary Law Committee. We're starting with Samuel Arnold. Their mentor was Supervisor David Celery, former supervisor. Next, from the Legislative Committee, whose mentor was former Supervisor Boyd Frederick, we have Joshua Chow. All right. Next, also from the Legislative Committee with Supervisor Boyd Frederick as their mentor, Benjamin Rothoff, who's also staying with Youth and Governance for the next cohort as well. So excited to keep working with you. Next, from our Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, we have Mackenzie Bellatini, and the former mentor was Supervisor Daniel Gashke. All right. Next, also from the PDEC Committee, we have Brooke Smith, also with Supervisor Daniel Gashke, acting as her mentor. All right. And then from our Public Works Committee, we have Shulan Shout. Her mentor was Supervisor John Franco. Unfortunately, not all of our Youth and Governance could be here tonight, but we thank all of you and those who couldn't be here as well for your incredible service to our county. I'm now going to invite John Cargyle up to say a few words about his experience.
It is on. Can it actually? Yes, it can. All right. To the esteemed members of the board, youth representatives-to-be, and citizens of Kenosha County. We all want to give back to our communities who raised us. And although there are many ways to do service in our communities, there are none quite as unique or impactful as the Youth and Governance program. Applying to the program was not some enlightened decision for me. It was, in fact, made on a whim, suggested to me in passing by my government teacher, but it led to one of the best experiences I've ever had the pleasure of participating in. Through it, I've gotten not only what I expected to, experience with Robert's Rules of Order, an understanding of the types of decisions elected officials make, the answer to why government appears to crawl along at a human time scale, and, in honesty, a nice mark on my resume. But it has also given me so much more. I have never felt quite so much like a Kenoshan, like a member of a larger body, as I have through this program. I have been inspired to look for ways to help the communities I belong to through resource management and legislation. I have had a close-up view of the impact of government in real, everyday people's lives. I have heard reasonable people I respect very much disagree on matters of great importance, and I myself have been able to influence those matters. I will now pass it on to Trinity Williams to talk about her experience a little bit.
Thank you, John. As you heard, my name is Trinity Williams. Before I was on the Youth in Governance, I knew next to nothing about Kenosha County government. I knew about the big government that we learn in government classes, Congress, the Supreme Justice, all of that. But I didn't know necessarily about how our own local government works, which is crazy because sometimes our own local government is the government that affects us the most. From my time on Youth in Governance, I've learned so much from board members, from my fellow Youth in Governance member, from my mentor, Jenny Tunkeys, who unfortunately could not be here today. I've learned what it means to be a Kenosha County resident. I've learned why Kenosha County is so special and why it's so important that we protect what we have. I've learned how that our vote matters, both in board meetings and in our elections. And I've learned why we should care about our local government. Our local government is important because it passes the laws that affects us the most. It passes the laws that affects our daily life in the school board, in healthcare, in everyday life. And I just want to thank everybody on here for making this possible. I want to thank Erica for teaching me so much about how to run something like this and something as big as this. No? Brooke? Thank you.
And going off of what Trinity said, on behalf of all of the Youth and Governance members, we would all like to give a huge thanks to all of you, our supervisors, our mentors, and the members of this community that we look up to teach us things from leadership to communication skills to just how to be better human beings and how to have that impact in Kenosha County that we do cherish so much in our time as Youth and Governance. And we would all like to give a huge thanks to Erica. Without her, everything we have done would not have been possible, from our voter registration project and through providing some mental health resources to high schools within the community and other projects we have worked on. Erica has truly fulfilled her role within her first year in this new position, and we would all like to give a round of applause to her.
Erica? Yes. Before we move to the next agenda, if you guys, let's take a couple minutes. If parents, relatives, friends want to take some pictures, please do so.
Stand in the middle here? Why don't we stand in the middle real quick? Take a photo. Yeah, center. And hold your. Should we like split the podium?
Let me get out of the way.
No, yeah, you don't want to.
Okay,
So
four on one
mess
side,
up
four
the
on the other.
picture.
Let's get on the other side.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did just think probably.
What are we doing?
Probably tell people in front.
Yes, all people in the back though?
Not upside down.
Any of the former mentors from last year, you want to step up and join? with that, thank you again so much for your service. Our 2021-2022 Youth and Governance cohort. Truly appreciated working with you, and I know that you'll continue to go on to do great things, as you already have. All right.
Okay, thank you to everyone. Next, we'll have the appointments of the 2022-2023 Youth in Governance. Erica?
Very much. All right. Now officially, scary, we are without Youth and Governance officially appointed right now. So we better go ahead and get our next cohort up here. Just a few words first about the process. Again, Youth and Governance, as it has been since it was first founded back in 2007. There's been a huge interest in the community. We had 156 nominations from across the county. From those nominations, 16 youth were selected and approved by the PDEC committee and recommended to the chair of the board. We're also excited to announce that we have re-expanded the program to include youth on the executive committee, which was a part of Youth and Governance back before 2014, and now that the executive committee will be meeting regularly again, we have added Youth and Governance back to that committee, so we could welcome 2 additional youth into the program this year, which I was very happy about, and I'm excited to learn about their experience. With that, we'll move on kind of in a similar fashion, so I'll be calling you all up in order, alphabetical order of committee. If you're the mentor, please stand when I call your name and the name of the youth. But this time we're going to let the youth introduce themselves as well. So after I say their name and committee and mentor, they'll go ahead and introduce themselves, their school, and then who their county supervisor is. We can see kind of the wealth of diversity from across the county that we have. And then again, I will invite Chair Benudo and Supervisor and Chair PDEC Caro back up here to give them their pins. Please bring your oath with you when you come up here, and go ahead and stand here again, as we will have you take your oath of office. Great. Okay, so starting with the executive committee, we have Enza Price and Alex Shires with their mentors, Supervisor Zach Rodriguez. So go ahead and here are the pins. And then Enza, if you want to introduce yourself first.
There you go. Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Enza Price. I go to Tremper High School. I'm on the executive committee, and my supervisor is Jeffrey Gentz, and I'd like to thank the board for this opportunity.
I'm Alex Shires. I'm on the executive committee with Enzo. My district supervisor is Laura Belsky, and I'd also like to thank the board for this opportunity. So thank you.
Next on the Finance Administration Committee, we have Aiden Hawkins and Evan Vasquez with Supervisor Dave Gearston as their mentor.
Hi, my name is Aiden Hawkins. I go to Westosha Central High School. My county board supervisor is Jeff Wambalt.
Hi, I'm Evan Vasquez. I go to Wilmot Union High School, and my county supervisor is John Franco.
Okay, next on the Human Services Committee, we have Erica Bando and Eric Lemire with Supervisor Monica Uhas serving as their mentor.
Hi, my name is Erica Bando. I go to Lakeview Technology Academy, and my supervisor is John Franco.
Hi, my name is Eric Lemire. I go to St. Joseph Catholic Academy, and my supervisor is Zach Stock.
Next, we have our youth on the Joint Services Committee. We have Michael Babu and Leo Ruffalo with Supervisor Mark Nordigan as their mentor.
Hi, my name is Michael Babu. I go to the Prairie School, and my supervisor is Dave Gearston.
Hello, my name is Leo Ruffalo. I go to Tremper High School, and my county board supervisor is Amanda Nadweski.
Next, I'll introduce our youth on the Judiciary and Law Committee. We have Alexa Dadinsky and Ben Rothoff, our returning gig, with Supervisor Jeff Wombold as their mentor.
Hi, my name's Alexa Dadinsky. I go to Bradford High School, and my board supervisor is Laura Belsky.
I'm Benjamin Rodoff. I go to Tremper High School, and my supervisor is Amanda Nadweski.
All right, next I will introduce the youth on the Legislative Committee. We have Sona Hawkins and Abigail Noslick, with Supervisor John Poole serving as their mentor.
Hi, my name is Sona Hawkins. I go to Indian Trail High School, and my county board supervisor is Laura Belsky.
Hi, my name is Abigail Noslick. I go to Westosha Central High School, and my county board supervisor is Zach Stock.
Okay, next we have the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, as I like to call them, some of my new bosses. We have Rebecca Seisel and Kenzie Kuhagen, with Supervisor John Franco serving as their mentor.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Seisel. I go to Westosha Central High School. My Kenosha County supervisor is Jeff Wombold, and thank you for this opportunity.
My name is Kenzie Kuhagen. I go to Harborside Academy, and my supervisor is Amanda Nadweski.
Next, I'll announce our youth on the Public Works Committee. We have Tyler Magnan and Maddie Tonko, with Supervisor Laura Belsky, who unfortunately is not joining us tonight, but you will meet very soon, serving as their mentor.
Hi, my name is Tyler Magnan. I go to Westosha Central High School, and my board supervisor is John Franco.
Hi, I'm Maddie Tonko. I attend Lakeview Technology, and my board supervisor is also John Franco.
All right. We are so proud of these outstanding Kenosha County Youth and Governance members, and to welcome them to the program. Next, we want to invite our county clerk, Reggie Wallagora, to come up and give them their oath. And with that, they will be on our committees.
Okay, so
You all have the oath in front of you. In the blank spot is where you're going to say your name. If I could have you all raise your right hand. I, say your name. And you're going to repeat after me. Having been appointed as a member of the 2022-2023 Kenosha County Youth and Governance Program, will serve by participating in Kenosha County Board committee meetings, do hereby agree to abide by the applicable standards of conduct, that would govern any elected county board member and serve our county to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Now we'll quickly pose for pictures as well. So.
Yeah. I can go lay in the front. Come in. Here, slide over.
Do one of those, everybody change positions, like in 5 seconds.
Please be seated, recognizing it is a key test season, among other things. If the youth and governance wish to exit now, go ahead. Otherwise, we want to save the rest of the meeting. Please feel free to do that as well. And just one more huge thank you to all of our county board supervisors for the support of the Youth and Governance Program. Thank you so much for all of your hard work, especially mentors, and especially Supervisor Gashey. Thank you so much for all of your mentorship during my first year in this role as the chair of PDEC, and Supervisor Caro. I'm really looking forward to working with you closely this year as well. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope that it was evident how meaningful this program is to the youth, and I hope that it's been a positive experience in the last year, and very excited for all the incredible things in this year to come. So thank you very much, and thank you.
Okay, now we open it up for citizen comments. Is there any citizen comments? Any citizen comments? Please state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes.
Veronica King, 5518 34th Avenue, Kenosha. I speak to you this evening in regards to the resolution for declaring Kenosha County countywide a sanctuary city. And I want to remind you that back in the early 2000s, Lee Iacocca, the CEO of Chrysler Corporation at the time, he wrote a book entitled, "Where Have All the Good Leaders Gone?" And in his book, he described the 9 C's of leadership. And those 9 C's include confidence, curiosity, creativity, communication, character, conviction, charisma, competence, and common sense. So in those 9 C's of leadership, they did not include conceal and carry. If we want our young people and our citizens in this community to be drug-free, law-abiding, productive members of society, I believe it starts with our elected officials. And you should set the example for not only our youth, but the rest of our county. And so I say to you tonight, conceal carry isn't necessary in public county meetings. I believe it was a mayor in Washington County that had his weapon in his possession on 2 separate occasions, and he dropped the weapon. So we don't need any weapons dropped by our elected officials in our county board meetings or public buildings for that much. So I ask that you vote against that resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizen comments?
Hi,
Please
my
state
name-
your name and address.
Yes, Laverne Jarris, 324 116th Street, Pleasant Prairie. I haven't gone away. I was working for Kenosha County in 1996 when Resolution 12 was passed to assure that the best qualified candidates were hired to lead important services, and their positions were safe from political cronyism. Kenosha County has had and still has excellent division heads, providing some of the best services in the state. Don't try to disguise the resolution on the board agenda today as anything other than an attempt to politicize a process that once made Kenosha County a place of pride. But while you're at it, you may want to add weapons training as a qualification and bulletproof glass to the division budgets to support other absurd resolutions on today's agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizen comments? Any other citizen comments? Any other citizen comments? Citizen comments are closed. Announcement of the chairman, I just wanted to, just a reminder that next week, Monday, 5/23, from 8 to 12, will be orientation, and everyone is encouraged to attend. That's all I have for now. Supervisors reports. Supervisor Nordigan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a reminder, the Public Works meetings have been moved from the first Monday of the month to the fourth Monday of the month, which means May 23rd. We are having a Public Works meeting May 23rd. Thank you.
Supervisor Nadweski.
The Human Services Committee last met on Tuesday, May 3rd. At that meeting, Director Jansen presented an overview of the Kenosha County Human Services to the committee and provided information about Wisconsin DHS Secretary Timberlake's thank you tour, which is happening next week. The Thank You Tour aims to thank communities for their COVID-19 response efforts. This event will take place from 1 to 2 p.m. on May 19th at the Kenosha County Center for anyone who's interested. Rachel Dutter, Director of Kenosha County Division of Aging, Disability, and Behavioral Health Services, presented a very thorough background and update of the county's potential partnership with Lake Behavioral Health in Waukegan, Illinois. Primary provider for the types of specialized services offered through Lake Behavioral Health is in Winnebago, Wisconsin. Should this contract come to fruition, there is the potential for the county to save significant financial resources and time. Ms. Dutter also expressed that the closer proximity of Lake Behavioral Health would likely have a positive impact on the quality of care, since clients would not have to go to such a distance up north to receive services. The county had not previously engaged in negotiations with Lake Behavioral Health due to Illinois state law that prohibited a partnership. That law is no longer in place. In a response to a recent spike in overdose incidents, Supervisor Gens requested that Director Jansen provide an update on countywide opioid use and response efforts at the next committee meeting. Upon invitation from Dr. Jen Freiheit of Kenosha County Public Health, Supervisors Stock, and myself toured Kenosha County facilities at the Job Center, including the clinic, lab, and offices on April 27th. We learned all about the services provided by Kenosha County Public Health. On Friday, May 13th, Supervisors Stock, and myself also toured Brookside and Willowbrook with Administrator Linda Bogdala, followed by a meeting in her office where we discussed specific challenges, obstacles, and possible solutions to the staffing shortage, especially in the role of CNA. I encourage supervisors who have not toured Brookside and Willowbrook to make sure they take the time to take advantage of Administrator Bogdala's offer. Supervisor Stock arranged for Supervisor Stocker himself and me to tour the Alliance Women's Clinic in Uptown Kenosha on May 4th. This nonprofit clinic is part of CareNet. They provide prenatal counseling and some limited prenatal medical care, including ultrasound, as well as referrals to area medical providers. Their extensive collection of donated baby clothing, items, and critically needed supplies, such as formula and diapers, serves clients in need in the area. They also offer parenting classes. We are looking at the possibility of increasing community awareness of organizations like the Alliance Women's Health Clinic by possibly making their information available to reproductive health patients who utilize services provided by Kenosha County Public Health. The next Human Services Committee meeting is scheduled for June 7th, when Director Jansen plans to introduce another area of human services to the committee to help new members get up to speed with the vast array of services that fall under his umbrella. That's all I have for today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Supervisor Carroll.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chairman Nudo. We had a PDEC meeting on Wednesday, May 11th at 6 p.m. We had the Extension Director, Terry Ward, out there to provide an update on the first half of the meeting. We also had Mary Metten, who was the Health and Wellbeing Educator, Alyssa Stearns, the 4-H Coordinator, and VJ Pandin as the Horticulturist. Director Ward provided a slide presentation focused on Wisconsin IDEA. The copy of the slides would be available. If anybody wants them, I can certainly talk to her and get a copy of those. She also talked about, there's a vacancy that they're trying to fill and for the ag and the horticulture area for an agricultural agent. And they want to focus on small farm supply chain options and for direct market for vegetable growing on the farms. We also had a change in our vice chair. We had voted to elect Supervisor Gashke as our vice chair, as Supervisor Kubicki relinquished his position due to prior commitments, and so we welcome Supervisor Gashke, who knows quite a bit about that committee, as a vice chair. And we also elected Supervisor Franco as a second vice chair. We also we voted on the Youth and Governance members, which we all saw here tonight, so we're excited about that. And then Director Ward also encouraged us to visit the UW Extension website, where there's a tremendous amount of programs available online there, which I'm sure many of you are aware of, but there is a whole bunch of information that you could spend hours on pouring through. We were also, so Mary Metten talked about a program that's coming up called the Mental Health First Aid. It's on the Extension website, and it's about adults assisting adults. I have a flyer here that's available, and it's on Tuesday, June 21st from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. But please either see me or see the Extension website for a copy of the flyer. Alyssa Stearns was there representing the 4-H club, and she's going to be, she's very new into the position, and she's going to be getting out and meeting all the club organizations throughout the county. We also talked to the horticulturist, VJ Panjin, who was talking about they had Arbor Day recently, so they were excited about that, and then they had the tree sale at the county as well, too. All right, that was the education side of it, and then as far as the planning and development side, we've got a couple of items on the agenda here. There were 3 of them that were tabled from our meeting, but there's a CSM in Wheatland, and then there's a rezone in Wheatland as well, which is further down the agenda item here. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Supervisor Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Judiciary Law Committee met on May 4th. We approved the appointment of Supervisor Laura Belsky to serve as the second vice chair of the committee. Additionally, tonight before the board are 3 resolutions for your consideration, and the first reading of an ordinance change for the board's consideration as well. Additionally, we did discuss a few things as well, including the sheriff's current population at both jail campuses, here downtown at the pretrial facility and out on Highway H at KCDC. Additionally, we discussed the sheriff's squad's vehicles. As many of you know, and some of you were concerned, those squads were delayed due to shipping demands, things like that, that have affected many aspects of our lives. Those are on the way. Some of them, I believe, may have arrived. And as soon as we get them, our team at Joint Services Fleet Maintenance is ready to retrofit them and get those out on the road. Additionally, those squads will be Explorers that will be hybrids. So that will be new to our fleet. Kenosha County is adding hybrids to the fleet, which was done on the advice of Fleet Maintenance. There were some issues with the other engines in the other squads. And then additionally, we went over the sheriff's staff population, if you will, how many deputies we have now on the roads versus what we had 20 years ago. That will be emailed out to you tonight, more all-encompassing info on all these topics. Our next meeting is June 1st. Encourage anybody who'd like to be there to be in attendance. Thank you.
Okay, seeing no other supervisors that wanted to speak, we'll move to the next item.
County executive appointments. 1, Chairman Nudo to serve on the Brookside Board of Trustees.
Refer to Human Services.
2, Supervisor Bashaw to serve on the Pringle Nature Center.
Refer to Public Works Committee.
3, Brooks Litz to serve on the Local Emergency Planning Committee.
Refer to Judiciary Law Committee.
New business, Resolution 1 reading. Resolution 1, from Chairman Nudo and the Judiciary and Law Enforcement Committee, a resolution to approve the appointment of Mark Nordigan to serve on the Joint Services Board. Passed unanimously at committee, Supervisor Nordigan abstained and Supervisor Belsky excused.
Supervisor Rodriguez.
1.
Moved by Supervisor Rodriguez, second by Supervisor Bishop. Supervisor Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a resolution to approve the appointment of Supervisor Nordigan to the Joint Services Board. Supervisor Nordigan will be replacing Supervisor Gentz. To my knowledge, this appointment, if confirmed, Supervisor Nordigan will be the first West End supervisor to serve on the Joint Services Board. This was approved unanimously at committee, and I ask the board's support tonight.
Okay, any comments? Supervisor Nordigan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will be abstaining from this vote.
So noted. Any other comments? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Passes.
Resolution 2 from the Judiciary and Law Enforcement and Finance and Administration Committees, a resolution 2022 FY21 grant award from Homeland Security Wisconsin Emergency Management HS Alert Bomb Explosive Breaching Training. Passed unanimously at both committees, Supervisor Belsky excused.
Supervisor Rodriguez. Moved by Supervisor Rodriguez, second by Supervisor Rose. Supervisor Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Kenosha Sheriff's Department has been awarded $4,000 from the state of Wisconsin for the Homeland Security Wisconsin Emergency Management Alert Bomb Explosive Breaching and Training 2022. This money will cover registration and travel costs to send 2 Kenosha County deputies for the 5-day training in Will County, Illinois. There is no county match. It increases revenues and expenditures by $4,000. Passed unanimously at both committees, Judiciary and Law and Finance, and ask for the board's approval tonight.
Any comments? Any comments? Okay, this one requires a 2/3 vote, so we're going to have a roll call.
Resolution passes. Is it unanimous? Unanimously. And 1 abstain. No. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm looking up there and I'm seeing stuff. Okay, passed unanimously. Thanks. Resolution 3 from the Judiciary and Law Enforcement and Finance and Administration Committees, a resolution 2022 District Attorney's Office proposal for allocation of federal ARPA funds. Passed unanimously at both committees. Supervisor Belsky excused.
Supervisor Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Move Resolution 3.
Moved by Supervisor Rodriguez, second by Supervisor Rose. Supervisor Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a request by the Kenosha District Attorney for 2 long-term temporary positions that would include 1 paralegal and 1 victim's witness advocate. This is being requested because Kenosha County has been granted 2 additional prosecutors by the state of Wisconsin for a time of 2 years. To bring down the case backlog, currently that is roughly 400 criminal cases and 100 riot-related cases. This request is for $98,000 in ARPA funds for this year. This includes payroll and benefits. These positions are not permanent and will end at the same time the state of Wisconsin ends funding for the assistant district attorneys. Both attorneys have contingent offers of employment. Passed unanimously by both committees. I ask for the board's support tonight. District Attorney Gravely is here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, any comments? Any comments? Okay, this one also needs 2/3 vote, so please vote yes if you're for it, no if you're against it.
Resolution 3 passes unanimously. Ordinance, 1 reading, 2 required. From the Judiciary and Law and Finance and Administration Committees, an ordinance for the amendment of the Municipal Code, Kenosha County 401, the Civil Service Ordinance. Ordinance, 1 reading. Ordinance 2 from the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, an ordinance regarding Michael W. Nielsen and Aaron N. Nielsen, owner, Michael Nielsen, agent, requesting a rezoning from R1 Rural Residential District to R2 Suburban Single-Family Residential District in the town of Wheatland. This passed unanimously at committee. Supervisors Berg and O'Day excused.
Supervisor Carroll.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Nudo. This is a,
Just move the resolution first.
oh, I move ordinance 2.
Okay, moved by Supervisor Kara, second by Supervisor Geschke. Supervisor Carroll.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Nudo. This is a rezoning from A1, or from R1 to R2 for a single-family residential district in the town of Wheatland. It's supported by the town of Wheatland, and furthermore, there's a CSM related to this to divide the lots into one lot into 3 lots. Essentially, they're adding 2 one-acre lots as parcels on this. So the rezoning would allow the property for this to be subdivided, and so I look for the support of the board for this rezoning.
Any comments?
Yeah, I said,
Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Oppose? Passes.
Communications 2, communication from Supervisors Decker and Poole, a resolution declaring Kenosha County a Second Amendment sanctuary county.
Refer to Legislative Committee.
Communication 3, from Supervisor Decker and Poole, a resolution to conduct a countywide advisory referendum on making the state of Wisconsin a Second Amendment sanctuary state.
Refer to Legislative Committee.
Communication 4, from Supervisors Decker and Rose, a resolution to repeal 1996 Policy Resolution 12 and adopt a policy regarding Kenosha County Department and Division heads.
Refer to Finance and Administration.
Communications 5, from Supervisor Decker, a resolution to amend the 2011 Resolution 63.
Refer to Public Works and Judiciary and Law Committees.
Communication 6, from Andy M. Bueller, regarding future items scheduled before the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee.
Received and filed.
The approval of the May 3rd, 2022 minutes by Supervisor Uhas.
Supervisor Uas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move the minutes of May 3rd, 2022.
Moved by Supervisor Uas, second by Supervisor Kubicki. Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion to adjourn by Supervisor Rodriguez, second by Supervisor Berg. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? We're adjourned.